Evening YouTube. I'm Force95 here, and well, two things before we start this. Well, I suppose one thing before we start this. Wait. Okay, well, there's the subject of my video right there. It's gonna be Shadvik the Hedgehog, or as he's better known as, Joshua. Now, what's this video about? Well, he basically tries to clarify what he does to Ariana why he called My Little Pony stupid, and admits at the end of the video he didn't even watch the entire show, and claims that that his claims from back then aren't valid today. Let's just see how this goes down, shall we, people? Oh, and one more thing. Yes, Ambrose is still on strike. I don't know why. That guy's just a spoiled brat when it comes to paychecks. So for this video, I'm gonna use Dawn Fan.
Hello YouTubers, this is Joshua8428 speaking. Okay, I know I'm going to regret this because this...
Well, Joshua, if you know you're gonna regret it, then why do the video? By the way, people, has anyone noticed Joshua's voice has gotten deeper? I thought he hit puberty already.
going to be something I'm going to say to Ariana, aka Channel 1.
AKA the girl I never leave alone. AKA the one I threatened to rape.
Now don't think I'm not letting go of her. There's something I'm going to say to her. Ariana, you're not the only one who's been through worse with
Hey,
bullies.
Joshua, sorry to cut you off again, but can I ask a question here? Where's the I'm sorry, Ariana, for all the things I've ever done to you, and I'm sorry for acting like a complete, oversensitive, idiotic moron? Because I honestly think that would have been something better to say than you're not the only one who's getting bullied. And by the way, how is she getting bullied again?
I've been through worse with bullies back when I was a little kid. I wasn't very bright. I couldn't really understand
And to think that still holds up today. What? We all know it's true.
who was with me and who was against me, until I realized that there's going to be people that are going to go against you, even if it looks like they're trying to help you out. There's a little story that I'm going to tell you back when I was a little kid. One day my ex-babysitter was going to do something and she said she'll be right back. It was taking place in my babysitter's car, and she left me alone in the back seat of the car between two boys left and right of me, and one girl in front of the...
You know, instead of actually apologizing, this video is him filling his ego again by stating his life story when he was apparently bullied in the back of the car. And by the way, you say you were younger when this happened. You didn't say what age the boys were. So I don't think this was bullying. I think this was just guys being guys back then when they're like 10. I'm just saying.
in the front seat. While we were waiting in the car, the two started to get bored and started to blow multiple raspberries right next to me. They kept blowing raspberries at me until they decided to play tug of war with me as the rope. I don't know how long it took, but to me it took a long time. The girl in the front wasn't doing anything but insulting me.
It sounds like a modern YouTuber. Yeah, I know that impersonation's horrible, but I'm horrible at impersonations anyway. But yeah, that pretty much sounds like a modern day YouTuber to Joshua. God, don't deny it. It's a guilty pleasure.
Then that was when I snapped and started to squeeze the boy's right arm on my left real hard.
How do I do this? To quote Owen Hart, enough is enough, and it is time for a change. Well, maybe not the change part. But enough is enough, people. Enough is enough. You do not play tug of war with Joshua. Unless it's YouTube.
boy started crying and hit me. This scarred me for life, and I still remember it. But it didn't really bother me because it happened a long time
I
ago.
wish he could say that about the whole Ariana thing. I really do. Also, uh, brain dead moment coming up next.
And it was easy to forget.
What I tell you, folks, brain dead moment. He says it's scarred him for life and he'll always remember it, and then he goes to say that it's easy to forget. Joshua, would you please make up your mind? And the fact that you commented, responding to a person that commented on your video saying this doesn't help because you said, I'll always remember it, but I can always remember it when I want to, but I can forget it otherwise. So it doesn't make any sense. I'm just saying it makes as much sense as putting this video on YouTube with a picture after this sound clip.
I still have that problem today. You see, I can understand that it's hard to let go of grudges when you're like me. And the reason I didn't brought that up in the first place is because I never had it in mind. Ariana, I'm sorry if you hear hurts you, but sometimes life is.
Did you hear that? He almost apologized for what he did to Ariana. Almost. We were so close. Damn it.
Life is like this, and you're gonna have to keep pressing on. I would have just had this conversation with you nicely, but it didn't go out according to plan because of a certain someone. You can argue all you want that it was my own fault that this happened, but think for a moment. Who was the one who told you this in the first
Yeah,
place?
who was the one who was being the tattletale in the first place? Who was being an absolute good friend to you and not letting me get away with what I said to you about My Little Pony and its fans? How dare that tattletale? But in all seriousness, no one really knows who that tattletale is, I think. I mean, quite honestly, it's either somebody from the Skype calls or something like that because he never actually tells us who it is, so we'll have to assume if you've no idea what happened in the Skype calls. Like me. But the only thing I know about Skype calls is that Youngblood Fantasy was in one of them. Interesting that, isn't it?
You could say that's no excuse for calling you that, but think about this. Did I watch My Little Pony before I said these things? You could say that what's that got to do with anything, but have this in mind. How could I give my thoughts to the show if I didn't even watch it yet? So everything you heard from me and the witnesses can not be
Well,
valid.
apart from that last part about the claims not being valid, well done, Joshua. Well done. You finally made a point where everyone can agree with you on. How could you judge a show without watching it? And calling her an idiot for watching it without watching it yourself? Well done. Well played.
So by term what was said to you, yes, you have reacted. And don't give me any excuse that doesn't excuse it, because do you even know why he called me in the first place? Bottom line, don't judge a book by its cover. If you want to know the truth, then you gotta flip through the pages. Keep this in mind next time you try to call me out for it. Well, that's all I have to say right there, so without further ado, this is Joshua8428, signing off.
Oh boy. Oh boy. What do I say? Joshua, we're not judging your book by its cover, we're judging your book by its content, and it's terrible content. If I had to compare your life to any of the books right now, In fact, no, I don't even think I can compare it to it because honestly, unlike Twilight, which is what I was going to compare it to, your life has no fans. Yeah, cold hard truth, buddy. And Ariana, sorry. Well, she reacted, I think, in a way that I thought was understandable, all things considering. I mean, if I wasn't a Sonic fan myself, I could easily say, Joshua, you are a huge idiot for liking Sonic. How would you feel about that? Okay, so I'm just gonna cut this short. Joshua, not a good video, I have to say. It really wasn't a good video. Uh, this was more of an ego trip than what should have been an apology. Uh, so that's all I have to say on that. So, this is Ampharos95 signing off. Ha, I stole your closing line. What are you gonna do about it, Joshua?